Hello everyone and welcome to another video, and can you beat Dying Light with no weapons at all? Now welcome to Dying Light 2, I'm really excited for this game and it turned out to be a good one. I'll give a little review later on. But anyway, if we start off the game, we go through into a party and we get attacked by a volatile. Then we go deep underground and we find one of our friends, I think it's Dylan, getting beat up by Waltz. Get a quick combat tutorial and they'll learn how to fight. Yeah. Just with fists for this entire run, no throwables or anything. So parkour combat is going to be essential in this, so we get taught it a little bit early on. First I have to learn the fundamentals about blocking and how to punch. Looks like there's a little bit of a cleave with the punch, and punches aren't too weak. I thought they would be really terrible, but it's not the worst thing in the entire world. Anyway, so we find the informant and he gives us this GRE key which Waltz needs for the entire story. We then learn how to perform a vault kick. Now this was really hard to do. There was lots of buttons on screen and it took me a while to nail it down, but eventually this guy's head came off when I kicked him, so that was just insane. After this, then I get blacked out basically, and I find Hakon. Hakon, the great Hakon. I love Hakon so much. He's such a cool character. He's just all about, he's just so sleazy, it's weird. Anyway, so I have a nice little talk with Hakon over the sunset over the city, and then I have to fight some virals. I don't know why they don't just call them zombies. Here I figure out that you can kick people off ledges, and I'll use that a lot in this run. Anyway, so I do a nasty right hook on this zombie, and he just goes down immediately, and then I kick this guy just off the edge. Kicking in this game, really effective, really good at getting people off the edge of buildings, instantly kills them. I kind of abuse this in a couple of boss fights later on, and it really comes in handy. Anyway, so I go to bed, wake up next morning, find a goat, give a guy some electric stuff, he just fries a goat, just electric shares him, so you know that's weird. I have to follow Hakon into this building, and I wish in these follow things, Hakon would just move faster. Like, I know how to fall down from a light. Anyway, so I go to grab Hakon's hand, I fall down an elevator shaft, so this is the whole, I gotta run away from a volatile. He comes out into the light, and then this is where we figure out that they don't like light, implying that if you go at night time, you get chased by these guys everywhere you go. Anyway, so then I go back to the bazaar where they tried to kill me in the first place, which probably isn't the best idea. Find this guy, he gets accused of being a murderer because he sells bad water apparently. So I go and try and figure that out, but I get sidetracked by a bunch of these like bandits. My combat sucks at this point because I'm still trying to learn what to do, but I eventually figure out that drop kicking is OP as anything, so I just abuse this. Any little ledge that you can just vault off, just vault instantly, R2, RT if you're an Xbox controller, and I get them all, and this guy tries to run away and I just right hook him in his foot and he just falls down. Then I jump on top of him, give him a little rough up, and then give him a big kick off the edge whilst he tries to grapple, ragdolls all the way down, tries to get up, and then just dies. So yeah, knocking people off the edge, really good way to go. Touch this guy's wife, apparently his husband has a massive drinking problem and always takes rocket fuel. I took this literally, I thought, why would someone drink rocket fuel? Turns out to be alcohol. Anyway, so I'll go and try and find this guy, get some zombies on the way, do like a glitchy drop kick where I like teleport backwards, go into these tunnels, my immunity sucks, just wail on this guy. Also the stamina bar is always empty whenever I try and punch anyone, really big issue. This gets me killed quite a lot. Get this weird volatile infection and I just mow through these guys. Like, this tunnel thing was absolutely horrible. Anyway, after this I get picked up by the group known as Peacekeepers, also referred to as PKs. Go back to Hakon and inform him that I have to find a weapon called the Lazarus, which is a set of fancy brass knuckles. Anyway, so I go do some parkour to climb this GRE building, and yeah, this is my first time using this rope to parkour anywhere, and it's really jarring. This game is really good for parkour if you're a parkour fan, but not so good if you're a zombies fan. I thought the zombies in this game was kind of like a second thought. Anyway, so I find this little girl who apparently took the Lazarus, so I try and torture her and try and get it from her, which is kind of like an interesting character. Anyway, I find this guy wailing on someone, and the body's just glitched and just floating. You'll see a lot of glitches through this road, it's a very common thing. Drop kick him anyway. Find these two, Sophie and Herman. Herman is an asshole, I hate him, he's a boring character, just growls at people, he's just like, "We'll be macho man." And it's just dumb. Anyway, this is funny. I go to sneak up on a level 1 zombie whilst being level 1. Snap his neck stealth attack, should kill. Doesn't kill, does half health. Then I have to snap his neck again. I know zombies are already dead, but I had to kill this guy like 3 times. This is really unreasonable, guys. Like, come on. Come on, Techland. Anyway, so I find Barney. I hate Barney. He's just an absolute idiot. He's just the most... He's not even like a fun, sleazy character like Hakon. He's just annoying. Anyway, so I decide in this run that I should be allowed to use gas canisters because you can punch the gas canisters and then they explode. So... is this really a weapon? Is a gas canister a weapon? Like, no, it's to fuel your camping equipment. So I just 1-2 the gas canister, run away, wait for it to explode, and then maybe try and get someone in a blast, and sometimes I throw them. This guy's just foot comes off completely. His foot just goes. I feel really bad that I killed this guy through a loss of foot. I also used some firecrackers as well to help search some of these bodies. firecrackers aren't really weapons, so I'm allowing this. It just buys me enough time to go and be able to actually search bodies. They don't actually do damage to them, so I'll take it. I'll take it. And there's a massive guy as well there as well, so I was not fighting him whilst being underprepared. Talk to Herman, he just growls at me. Climb up this raider camp, do some, like a nice little string of parkour here. This is like when I'm getting parkour like nailed just about. And this is really good. This is so good. So I'm fighting this bandit lieutenant who's supposed to be this like boss that you like stealthily take down. I just punch him into a spike wall. I don't even kick him, he just falls into it. I just like lightly press on his back and push him in. Anyway, so go back to our friend Barney. Barney doesn't like us for whatever reason. I just go brutally on these guys and I fight Herman. And now Herman is just a complete, like, just an idiot, and he just makes us fall down. And I have to fight him in this really enclosed area, which really sucks because he's got this massive weapon with a really big reach. And yeah, as you can see, I do barely any damage to him. Bearing in mind this is on normal difficulty, so it could be a bit easier and easy, but I eventually goes down. I die a lot to this in places that I just shouldn't, but every single time I got low health and he got low health, I just like got low. Anyway, so I have to go to this water tower and I kick a ton of zombies into those spikes. Those spikes are really helpful. Environmental kills are a blessing on these no weapon runs, to be honest. So to climb this place, take some C4 off all these like barrels so they don't blow up this water tower, and then I give the water tower to either the peacekeepers or the bizarre people, and the bizarre people give really good like parkour bonuses, so I always go for those. Anyway, so I find this like weird bit of flesh with a peacekeeper tattoo symbolized on it, and I accuse Barney immediately. And now the Barney fight is a weird boss fight because I just like kick him into the little like this little secret hidey hole, and he just gets stun locked. The animation is just crazy. It flails around constantly. It's a pretty good dance if you're in like a rave club, but we're not in a rave club, Barney. You're supposed to be fighting me, and yeah, you get stuck on this little lip, and yeah, this AI is kind of inexcusable, really. Like it's just poor. Like I try and jump for this thing and die. And this is my favorite character, Alberto. Philistine, beetle shells are great protection. I love him so much. These zombies are just having like a bit of a rave again. I don't know why everyone's having a rave at this moment. Barney was having a rave, the zombies are having a rave. Look at them, they're all like do. Anyway, yeah, I get the C4 that I stole from the windmill, and I go and put it, a water tower I mean, and I go to put it on the windmill with the help of Alberto, and I have to do some sneaky solid stake things. I do a nice little 180 off this building and jump into the water. I love the scene. Great scene. I love the whole windmill thing. And I'm not sure if this was like a story choice or if everyone has to do this, but I'd recommend doing the windmill if you can. Alberto wakes up and he eventually blows up the entire windmill. Well, not quite actually, because we have to plant one more explosive. And the music in this bit, listen to the music. Whoever composed the music did a great job. I love the music design. It sounds like Matrix music almost. It's like proper, the strings are going crazy, and yeah, it really added a really nice dimension to this entire thing. So anyway, I found out that Alberto's been attacked by some peacekeepers. I'd give them 1-2. Alberto dies, of course, at the Dying Light game. Every character you like eventually dies because that's how it goes. Great. That hits me right in the feels. Hakon then gets an arrow in his chest. I can't catch a break with my favourite people almost dying. I decide to help him. He tells me that he kind of betrayed me. I have to go find the sniper. I use all these zip lines, all these different ways to climb through the power station to get to the person. A nice little parkour scene, thought it was kind of cool. And yeah, I find this lady, Lawan. Now, I'm kind of mixed on Lawan. I don't know if I like the character or not. She's sometimes really annoying and sometimes really cool. And she just flitters between the two. Anyway, so I go to the tunnel trying to go to the next part of the city, and I find this guy, the Charger. Now, this guy took me forever to kill. This guy took me so long to kill. I mauled it out over this fight so many times. He was so fast. And this guy doesn't appear at all in the rest of the campaign. He appears at no other point apart from this point. And he's not even special. He doesn't even look cool. He's just a normal infected with a bit of charring on him. And he just takes so many hits to kill. And he stun locked me constantly. Anyway, I meet Waltz finally. And Waltz is just an arsehole. And then I transform into a zombie mode and just absolutely like decimate everyone here. They all just die. But nobody mentions it. Aiden doesn't even mention it either. He's just like, oh, I was a zombie, and just glances over the whole thing. Doesn't even acknowledge it. Try and blow up these guys with gas canister. Doesn't work. Finds Waltz. Turns out Waltz is just the big bad in this game, and he's just really strong everywhere, so I have to run away from him. I really enjoyed these runaway scenes. They were good. Then I find Lawan again, and she gives me a hang glider. Hang glider kind of sucks. It's really slow, but good for like breaking falls, kind of. I kind of need it for this thing. Yeah, this is the only reason I really die in this game, is because I just fall. I rarely die in combat, to be honest with you. Fight these guys who are trying to blow up the fisheye. Drop kick all of them by jumping off this barrel. Knock some people off the edges. They kind of just fall down vertically, which is like really odd. And I grapple this guy, and he goes off the edge. And then the game finally catches up with itself, and he falls off. But yeah, the fisheye fights were really good. It was kind of intense. You had to like really run and really use the entire environment to actually take down these cannons that they had. But yeah, the hang glider came in a lot of use. And, well, I say it came in a lot of use, but every time I used it to break a fall, like, I would pull it, I would hear the wind in the back, like, expand it, and then I would just die. Like, it was really annoying. Like, it sucked at breaking falls. It was really bad. So I kicked some more guys off edges of buildings, and that guy just basically a backflip, and that's really cool. So I have to fight some more people. Bit of a over combat bit. Like, I was dying just having, like, a bit of a break from combat. I was fighting so many people at this point. And yeah, these guys go down without a hitch, really. I get a nice little combo going. I wanted to just show this off, that I was like doing like 1-2 punches, grapple, kick when they were like doing the defenses, like breaking the defense. And this guy just flips at the end. I think I do a kick to finish him off. Yep, he just goes back instantly. Find this really big dude, and I just slowly back him up into these spikes. One difference between Dying Light and Dying Light 2 was that people don't actually get impaled on the spikes. They just kind of like slump into the spikes and fall over. I try and fight another big guy, get absolutely destroyed. He really gave me some trouble. I was trying to knock him off the edge, but it wouldn't work. I'd kick him and he would go backwards. So I tried to break his neck, and he just turns around. He's like, "What are you trying to do, mate?" And it's just, yeah, a real pain in the ass fight. I find this lady, and she's just incredibly sweaty for whatever reason. Find Juan. I like Juan. Juan's kind of cool. He likes fine art. I really like his costume design as well. They put some thought into that as well with like the sleeves. Find this huge dude. That huge dude looks hard, but he actually wasn't too bad. He's called Wrecking Ball. I do no damage to him. I do even less damage to this guy than I did to the other guy, Sophie's little bodyguard, and he just wails on me constantly. I try and go fight him. I try and grab him to this rope. I die again. Fall damage in this game is nuts. Like, it's literally the only reason I died, like, consistently. Like, there was some points where I was trying to do parkour and I just constantly fell off. I punched this gas canister hoping to try and bait the Wrecking Ball guy into it, but he doesn't really want to do it. I kind of just blow myself up in this entire process, which is really smart, but eventually gets set on fire, and I can't really tell if this is doing any damage to him at all or just making him more pissed off, really, because he just gets angrier and angrier this entire fight. It was a close one in the end, but if you just stay behind them and keep punching like the butt, basically, the AI has a really hard time trying to like get you when you're behind, which is the same for most boss fights. Just get behind the boss. It's like the best advice. But yeah, he finally goes down, and I'm really happy with it. As you can see, I do like a bit of a victory punch at the end. This bit takes me ages as well. There's like 3 guys on this rooftop, and I don't know why. Maybe because I couldn't actually push them off the edge because there was like a barrier there. So this just took me ages to do. Like, actually manually punching someone to death on this game really sucks. Like, just use environmental kills. Anyways, I had to fight some more bandits, and I try and just kick them all off the edge again. It's really cheesy. It's super cheesy, but it works so well. I just can't stop doing it. So I push this zombie into this exploding gas canister, and his face just gets melted. Really cool. And then I go into this little safe house, and there's just a zombie glitch through the floor the entire time. Really weird. So I do find a charger, but it's a charger mixed with a Wrecking Ball, and this guy took ages to take down. The gas canisters were really good at clearing out some of the ads in this fight. I see that guy's torso just gets ripped off completely, and he just gets set on fire, which buys me some time. It's a little bit of CC, which is nice to see, just to lock him in place. I have to try this fight again. I die multiple times. As you can see, I just get mauled to death, like a pretty standard thing. I try and then get the ads and try and like lure them to the edge a bit, but there's like a tiny lip on the edge of the building. Like, the little edge lips are my worst enemies because I can't just easily knock people off. So I just grapple the guy, just get him off. I try and like drop kick, abuse this guy. I kind of glitch through and just die anyway, which is odd. So I just abuse this. I try and keep grappling up onto this little bit and just drop kick him. I did it like 3 times in a row then, and he eventually goes down, and I'm just so happy. I just wail on the body and I search him just for the loot that he has. Again, I have to go and I have to try and talk to some peacekeepers about like a broadcast tower, I think, and yeah, it's getting harder and harder to kick people off the edge. The stamina bar in this game, I don't know why the stamina bar exists in this game. I wish it was removed. It serves no purpose. It's just like a limiting factor to the fun you can have in this game. And yeah, so this is really late at night now. This is on the first day of release, and I just get to this point, and it's that puzzle room with the cables, and my IQ is low on the best of days, but I lost brain cells. I physically and mentally lost brain cells on this day trying to do that. It took me far too long to try and figure it out, and there's more cable puzzles ahead. It just takes me forever. Anyway, I found this room full of zombies. We try and climb this like broadcast tower, which everyone seems to be terrified of for whatever reason. Rightly so, because there's endless zombies. This little electric puddle really helped out. I can now charge my light attacks as well, so I just give them just a big, like, just sock them constantly, and they go down. Again, environmental kills are just away with this whole thing. The peacekeepers, I share a beverage with them. They just roast this guy's wife, and then the guy's wife, he just gets destroyed. Like, he gets roasted, and then he gets absolutely just blown up by this, like, boomer. Everyone's dead. Yeah, pretty horrific. It was kind of like a shock moment in the story. I try and wipe out this entire place legit. Apparently you're not supposed to do it legitimately. You're supposed to turn into a zombie. So I eventually turned into one after struggling for ages and just cleave through them all. It's a real power trip playing this thing, and I'm glad the zombie only uses melee attacks because it would have ruined the run otherwise. But if I could just stay in that mode the entire time, that would be great. So I also find a grapple hook, and the grapple hook just looks awkwardly lodged into this wall, like, I don't know, the animation just looked really clapped, but the grappling hook itself is so good. It's so good. It's so much fun. Pretty fluid to use. Dismounting from it takes like a couple of times to get the timing right to make it feel smooth, but I really enjoy the grappling hook. Great addition. I love how every game is now trying to add a grappling hook. I think Battlefield did it. Halo did it, and now Dying Light 2's doing it. We're in the age of the grappling hook for gaming, apparently. Just everyone wants grappling hooks, and I'm fully with it. A good grappling hook in a game can make a game, in my opinion. There's just so much, it's so much fun to swing. Why is swinging such like a primal thing? So anyway, I climbed this broadcast tower. Eventually, I didn't realize you could climb on those little, like, pole things around the edges. It took me a while. I was really confused to how I was actually supposed to go up there. I find Luan, she comes to save me, and she is just upset that her shoes are broken. She just rants at me for that. Anyway, I find that she's cheating on me with her card. The slimy hair card, god damn it, it's like I'm such a player. He just gets around everyone, apparently. So yeah, that was kind of foreshadowed as well in some of the text previously, which I didn't pick up on at all. But I do a really awesome little grapple sequence here to get back to the fisheye. And yeah, we have to defeat some, oh yeah, we go to a church and we have to fight these guys, and I just abuse this bridge. I just kick people off constantly. Like, I was trying to do wail on them, but I just couldn't be bothered. I just kicked them off into these spikes down below, just drop kick them, everything. And this really big guy was so tanky for some weird reason, and they had these spear dudes as well that do these AoE sweeps. Super annoying to deal with. Anyway, I bait this guy, and he just falls onto a spike. Look how relaxed and chilled he is. He's just like watching. He's like, yeah, I'm here. So yeah, I have to fight more people, and eventually I have to fight Hakan, and I'm like, no, I don't want to fight this guy. I don't want to kill him. I like Hakan. I think he's a cool character. Even though he did betray us, and he screwed over Luan, I like him. So I kind of push him off here, and he just ragdolls immensely. It's really funny to see, like, a main NPC just ragdoll, and yeah, he takes so much damage from falling. Like, my punches do barely any damage to him, so falling was really the way to get anything done. So I have to go find him. He pretty much decks me and kicks me. He gives me a bit of my own medicine. He just he wants to give me the fall damage, but I get him back in the end, and eventually get him off. And I'm kind of sad that he's dead, but look at the way that he falls onto this. He just chills on the bench. Look at him. He's just like, yeah, sup? Like, Hakan, you're so laid back, mate. You're basically vertical. Luan comes, tries to basically kill Hakan. I talk her out of it because I really like Hakan. I think he's like just a cool character, so I just want to keep him alive. I do a nice little parkour sequence here, which I thought was cool. I eventually learned the ability on how to wall run everywhere, which was so good. I think it's called like Tic Tac or something. Really good parkour. This game really becomes a lot better once you get some parkour abilities. Playing the game without parkour abilities at the very start feels awful. It feels really, really bad, like really clunky. So I think the further you go with this game, the better it feels, and the more of a parkour game it feels like. It really felt like Mirror's Edge at the end. Like, it was on the verge of that kind of like fluidity and that kind of like state of flow that you get in the Mirror's Edge games. But anyway, I keep going, and I have to find out. I have to go to the chemical zone, and I have not been near the chemical zone at all. So this is kind of like a new thing for me. I get into this facility, and there's just zombies everywhere. There's so many of them. I just get absolutely destroyed. I have to just basically just cheese them to get into anywhere. I actually lockpick this door like super fast just to get into the facility. Find some like doctor zombies, just wail on them for a bit, and I find a GRE facility, and this is a really cool like set piece environment. I really enjoyed the whole like vibe of this whole place, and yeah, the environment is really good for melee combat because I just get to vault and kill people. Find Waltz, and Waltz actually takes a fair amount of damage from being punched. Like, look how much damage he's taking. Like, that's not a small amount of damage. Like, for a boss, a couple of hits and he was gone. But yeah, Waltz eventually comes back again, and the fisheye gets attacked again, and I think the leader of the Night Runners, or the ex-leader, Frank, basically dies in this, or in my version anyway, and these guys are all like one level higher than me. I try and kick this renegade guy into the spike wall at the very start of the encounter. This one took me forever as well, because there was like fire breathers, there was archers everywhere. I transformed again into a cool zombie, and I'm thank God that this happened, because there was a room just full of people, and there was no way to kick them off. There's no environmental traps. I think later on in this game, they become a bit lazy with putting environmental traps. Like, it was definitely like a thing where they were like, okay, we're gonna make these like fight environments and put these environmental bits, and they just forget in the later bits, which is fair enough, because he's supposed to be OP at that point. You don't need them. But for this run through, I try and also just to like drop kick Waltz just constantly. Waltz takes no damage from punching. He takes literally no damage. Drop kicking only just did it. So at this point, I'm kind of starting to say I had to tone the difficulty down to easy, because he just wasn't dying. I was wasting so much time doing this. It took a good like 2 hours to eventually come to this decision. So yeah, I didn't want to do it. I kind of wanted to just do this all on normal, but the last fight really goes on forever. It's a real phase fight. Like it felt kind of crazy. Like, I wish Waltz's powers got explained a bit more. I'm sure in the lore of this game it does, but like, isn't he supposed to be like half zombie? Like, why can he do all this like elemental like lava stuff? He's like a shaman. He's like a shaman from World of Warcraft. Like, why can he do all this stuff? But yeah, I have a big whirling match with him. I find out that he's actually my dad, which is a weird one. And yeah, we both transform and we have this like cool fight. I thought this was actually kind of cool. It was a bit anime, because like you both like, it's a whole like dying light. They drop the name of the game so many times in that fight. They're like, dying light, stay human. Like, it's just really hit the nail on the head, really. Like, they try and really hammer home the message of the game. So yeah, I do that, save Mia, get out of this entire place, save my sister, and then Loam. I got this ending. I'm not sure what ending you guys got or will get, but I got this one. And yeah, the credits roll, and I just finished the entire game. So, pretty good game. I think Dying Light 2 is good. It is buggy, but if you like Dying Light for zombies, don't play this. Well, you should probably play this game, but you won't enjoy it as much as Dying Light 1. But if you enjoy this game for the parkour and the world aspect and maybe some of the characters, I think this game is a little bit superior in terms of parkour. I just really enjoyed it, and the combat is a bit hit and miss, a bit buggy, but yeah, overall, solid game. Probably give it a 7 out of 10. Probably if some of the big bugs got fixed, I'll give it an 8. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching the video. Please enjoy Dying Light 2, and I shall see you in more videos.